My name is Mike Walkenduck with Countryside Cooperative in Purina. I'm here with Dr. Avery Johns today, and we're going to talk about how to set up your creep feeder for that initial start with some cattle. Again, Amy is our technical resource from Purina that covers grass cattle in Wisconsin. So we're going to talk a little bit about how do we set up a creep feed. Maybe this is the first time we set the feeder out in the year. What should we keep in mind when we're setting that up?
Yeah, so I think it's just really important as we think about creep feeding. Yes, it's convenient to put it in a feeder, but we have to think about managing that feeder as well, right? So we're keeping fresh feed in front of those calves and those kind of things. If we're going to do an AccuCreep program, we really want to start off with some kind of other creep first. So whether that's a pelleted program or a commodity creep, we want about 100 pounds of that in the calf before we're going to transition to the AccuCreep program. And that's just to get them eating and get them acclimated. And then as you know, what we really want to do is put that AccuCreep above that creep and let it kind of sort through and get them to, slowly adjust to that feed.
So a lot of times what I would have a producer do is maybe have a pelleted option. All the calves are trained to come to it. When that feeder is maybe a third full yet, we dump AccuRation creep on it, then to get accomplished what you said, to have that filter through and for them to start transitioning to that one.
Exactly. So again, if we throw a cold turkey on AccuRation, we're not going to have very much success. So we want to transition that onto that feed. That's pretty critical.
We're going to show you a little bit today here of what the creep feed looks like. So this would be an AccuRation creep feed program with processed corn and then the AccuRation limiter supplement in there. So Amy, can you tell me what you should expect and how that should be processed?
So AccuRation does look a little bit different. So just to prepare you, we do want a finer cracked corn or kind of a ground corn when we're feeding this product because that AccuRation comes in a meal form and we don't want any sorting. But the form of this is also helping us in managing intake. So really AccuRation is a combination of different intake modifiers. You will notice a little bit of a fishy smell. Again, it's going to have a smaller particle size, but it's all those things that are helping us manage that intake and change eating behavior. So it is an important component and piece to the look and what you see in the feed.
So sometimes when we're trying to limit intake and also as well as manage shrink and feed waste, we really need to be cognizant of how we control our gate setting on our cell feeder. So how would you tell somebody how to set that and where do you monitor that?
So essentially, I kind of use just the 2-inch or 2-finger because it depends on how thick your fingers are, right? So, but we really want to keep that, and this feeder would be at about 2-inch opening. We want enough so feed will flow, but we don't want that feed pan to get too full, right? So I just want to see a little bit in that feed pan. If I get it tighter, I'm going to limit intake. So again, it's finding this balance between too much and limiting it too much and giving it too much access.
So we're looking at setting a feeder out in our pasture for our calves to use. What things do we need to keep in mind with how activity is and where the water might be? How would you work around that?
Well, I think initially we got to get calves to eat creep, right? So we really have to think about placing that in an area where the cows may be kind of low feed, which is typically near the water tank or the mineral feeder or something like that, right? So initially we just really want to make sure that the calves are going to find it and they're going to get to that creep feed, right? Maybe as we get further along into the creep season, if you want to try to, manage intake a little bit, the further away we take it away from that area, the less they're going to eat, right? So again, that's kind of going to depend on what you want to accomplish, but initially we got to get them to find it and eat the creep feed.
Okay. So those are just a few other things to keep in mind when you're setting up a creep feed program and initially getting things set up for your calf crop. If you need help, maybe making some assessments in your pasture and your feeder situation, give us a call. We can stop out and see how we can make that situation fit your farm.